Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Stalemate in Parliament continues over Manipur issue. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar meets floor leaders, seeks cooperation for smooth conduct of business. Government instructs banks to deal with loan repayments in a humanitarian manner. Interest rate on deposits under EPF scheme hiked to 8.15% for financial year 2022-23. Met Office warns of heavy rains in Kerala, coastal Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Konkan and Goa in next 4 days. Israeli Parliament passes bill to limit powers of judiciary amid mass protests. And in cricket play on day 5, a second test match between India and West Indies delayed due to rain. Both houses of Parliament witnessed protests by opposition parties for the third consecutive day today over the issue of Manipur violence. The Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha were adjourned for the day. In the Lok Sabha, when the House met after the third adjournment at 2:30 p.m., members of opposition parties, including the Congress, DMK and JDU, trooped into the well, raising slogans demanding the Prime Minister's statement in the House over the violence in Manipur. Union Home Minister Amit Shah said when the government is ready for discussion on the matter, he is not able to understand why the opposition parties are not allowing discussion. Speaker Om Birla said the opposition must not deviate from tradition, as it is the concerned minister who responds to the relevant issue in the House. As pandemonium continued, the Speaker adjourned the House for the day. Similar scenes were witnessed in the Rajya Sabha when the House met after a third adjournment at 3 p.m. Suspended Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh refused to leave the House. Deputy Chairman Harivansh repeatedly asked him to leave the House, but Mr. Singh refused. Later, the House was adjourned for the day. Amid stalemate in Parliament, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar held a meeting today with floor leaders of various political parties in the upper house. The meeting, which took place at Parliament House, was attended by Leader of the House in Rajya Sabha, Piyush Goyal, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi, Jairam Ramesh of Congress, Elmaram Karim of CPIM, Raghav Chaddha of AAP, Shantanu Sen of TMC, K. Keshav Rao of BRS, Asmit Patra of BJD, and others. During the meeting, the chairman sought their cooperation for smooth conduct of business in the House. The Rajya Sabha chairman also had a separate meeting with Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge. BJP today accused Congress and other opposition parties of running away from debate in Parliament on the Manipur issue. Briefing media in New Delhi, senior party leader and Union Minister Smriti Irani said Home Minister Amit Shah today appealed to all members of the opposition in the Lok Sabha to initiate a discussion on the issue. She said Mr. Shah repeatedly said, as the Home Minister, he would like to bring certain facts to light, but the opposition is running away from discussion.
देश के गृह मंत्री दोनों सदनों में चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। प्रश्न ये उठता है कि विपक्ष मणिपुर से संबंधित घटनाओं पर चर्चा करने की बजाय संबंधित मंत्री द्वारा चर्चा से क्यों भाग रही है?
The government has instructed all banks to deal with loan repayment issues with sensitivity and a humane approach. Replying to a supplementary during the question hour in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said it has come to her notice that some private and public sector banks act mercilessly in case of loan repayments. She said a suitable instruction in consultation with the RBI has been issued to banks to deal with such cases in a humanitarian manner.
I know I've heard complaints about how very mercilessly the paying back has been followed up by some banks, whether they are public sector banks or private sector banks. The government has made sure through the RBI also to instruct such banks that such harsh steps should not be taken and that they should approach this whole matter with a humanity in mind and sensitivity in mind. That instruction has been given to all the banks, be it private or public.
The government has approved interest rate of 8.15% on Deposits under the Employees Provident Fund scheme for the financial year 2022-23. According to the Employees Provident Fund Organisation, EPFO, the Ministry of Labour and Employment has conveyed the approval of the central government to credit interest at the rate of 8.15% per annum for the year 2022-23 to the account of each member of the EPF scheme. Last year, the interest rate for EPF account was 8.1%. The Supreme Court today suspended the survey by Archaeological Survey of India at Gyanvapi Mosque in Varanasi for 2 days. The Apex Court ordered the ASI not to conduct the detailed scientific survey and directed the Muslim petitioners to approach the Allahabad High Court for remedies. A bench headed by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud said the court gave time till Wednesday to the Gyanvapi Mosque Management Committee to challenge the ASI order of the Varanasi court before the High Court. A scientific investigation began today to determine if the mosque located next to the Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi was built upon a temple. A 30-member team of ASI began the survey in the morning. The development came after Muslim petitioners from the Mosque Management Committee filed a plea seeking a stay on the Varanasi District Court's order for an ASI survey of the mosque. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. President Draupadi Murmu presented the National Geoscience Awards 2022 at a ceremony in New Delhi this evening. The award is instituted by the Ministry of Mines with the aim to honour individuals and teams for achievements and contributions in various fields of geosciences. 22 geoscientists, including 2 women, were awarded today. Speaking on the occasion, the President urged the geoscientist community to keep moving forward in the direction of human-centric mining. She appreciated Indian geoscientists for strengthening India's economy by contributing to the efficient use of minerals. President Murmu said mining is the primary sector of the Indian economy and mineral development has a vital contribution in the economic development of the country.
सरकार द्वारा माइनिंग सेक्टर में अनेक प्रगतिशील बदलाव लाया गया है। इन बदलाव से माइनिंग सेक्टर की क्षमता और उत्पादकता में प्रगति हो रही है। हमारी जियो साइंटिस्ट खनिज पदार्थों के सक्षम उपयोग में योगदान देकर भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को शक्ति प्रदान कर रही है।
The National Geoscience Award for Lifetime Achievement was conferred on Dr. Om Narayan Bhargava, well known for his pioneering work in the Himalayas spanning the last 4 decades. The National Young Geoscientist Award was presented to Dr. Amiya Kumar Samal, who is Assistant Professor of Banaras Hindu University. He has made significant contribution in understanding the variation of subcontinental lithospheric mantle below different Archean cratons of the Indian Shield. Dr. Samal spoke to Akashvani about his work.
I am working on the Precambrian mafic dikes of the Indian Shield to infer about the variation of subcontinental lithospheric mantle during time. So by studying this, we can basically assess how the subcontinental lithospheric mantle has varied with time.
President Draupadi Murmu will be on a 3-day visit to Odisha from tomorrow. She will interact with a group of medical students sponsored by Atut Bandhan family and lay the foundation stone for a new building block of Raj Bhavan Odisha in Bhubaneswar tomorrow evening. On Wednesday, the President will grace the valedictory function of 75th year celebrations of Odisha High Court at Cuttack. In Manipur, the first goods train carrying essential commodities arrived at Khongsang railway station today. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh received the train. It was flagged off from Guwahati yesterday. The commodities consist of rice, onions and potatoes, among others. The Chief Minister said it would ease the shortage of essential commodities in the state. The India Meteorological Department IMD has issued red alerts for Kerala and coastal Karnataka, expecting heavy to very heavy rainfall with a possibility of extremely heavy downpours today. It has also issued orange alerts for Andhra Pradesh, Konkan and Goa, warning of heavy to very heavy rainfall for the next 3 to 4 days. In a statement, the IMD said a cyclonic circulation is very likely to form over west central and adjoining northwest Bay of Bengal today. It said under its influence, a low pressure area is likely to form over the same region during the next 24 hours showers which will bring heavy rainfall in isolated areas. The weather agency also predicted isolated very heavy to extremely heavy rainfall activity over the west coast till tomorrow. It said isolated heavy rainfall is also very likely over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Meghalaya during the next 5 days. In Telangana, an alert has been issued warning of heavy rains in many districts today. The Hyderabad Meteorological Centre also issued a red alert of heavy to very heavy rains with extremely heavy spells likely to occur in Mehboobabaad, Warangal and Hanmakonda tomorrow. In Kerala, heavy rain continues in northern and central parts of the state. The Met Department has forecast widespread rains for the next 4 days in the state.
Orange alert is issued in Kozhikode, Wayanad, Kannur and Kasaragod districts today, and yellow alert in all other districts except Thiruvananthapuram and Kollam. Hilly and landslide-prone regions and coastal areas are on high alert. As heavy rain continues, holiday is declared for all educational institutions in Kannur and Wayanad districts tomorrow. Fisherfolks are warned from venturing into the sea till Thursday along Kerala, Karnataka and Lakshadweep coast. Mayusha for Akashvani News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Gujarat, at least 4 people were killed and more than 4 were feared trapped after a 3-story building collapsed in Junagadh today. A rescue operation was underway. 2 teams of NDRF along with teams of fire brigade had recovered 4 bodies from the debris till reports last came in. Junagadh witnessed torrential rains on Saturday, which led to severe waterlogging in the city. A mega cleanliness drive is on in the city. In Uttarakhand, over 200 circuit roads connecting villages in hilly areas are blocked for vehicular traffic due to heavy rains and landslides at several places in the state over the past few days. Badrinath National Highway is also blocked due to a massive landslide near Kameda. Pilgrims and tourists are being sent through an alternate route. The administrations of hilly areas are working on a war footing to remove obstructions from the roads on a priority basis. Meanwhile, the State Meteorological Department has forecast light to moderate rain in most parts of the state over the next 5 days. The department has also predicted heavy rains at some places in the state during the period. The Israeli Parliament Knesset has passed a bill that would overhaul the country's judiciary and limit its powers, despite mass protests from the opposition. The bill passed by 64-0 after the opposition boycotted it in protest. Local media reported that the law removes the power of the Supreme Court to overrule government actions it considers unreasonable. It said last-minute talks to find a compromise led by President Isaac Herzog failed to stop the government from pushing ahead with the vote. The planned reforms have triggered some of the biggest protests in Israel's history, with opponents warning they imperil Israel as a democracy. The government argues that the measures are necessary to correct an imbalance in power, which has seen the courts increasingly intervene in political decisions in recent decades. However, hours before the final vote, police used water cannon and arrested protesters outside Israel's parliament in Jerusalem. Bangladesh is grappling with mosquito-borne dengue outbreak. The Directorate General of Health Services said at least 129 people have died of dengue so far this month. According to available data and entomologists, the hospitalization and death trend in the ongoing dengue endemic is the worst in 23 years. This year, dengue has killed 176 people and forced 32,977 to admit to health facilities across Bangladesh. Despite the government's preventive measures, the number of cases and fatalities from dengue fever is rising day by day. Key domestic indices closed with losses today in volatile trade amid mixed cues from global share markets. The Sensex declined 299 points to finish at 66,385. The Nifty also declined 79 points to end at 19,666 in the forex market. The rupee appreciated 13 paise to close at 81 rupees and 82 paise against the US dollar. In cricket, start of play on day 5 of the second test between India and West Indies in Port of Spain was delayed due to rain. The hosts were to resume their second innings at 76 for 2. They required 289 runs to win the game. Earlier, India set a victory target of 365 runs for the West Indies. India declared their second innings on 181 for 2 on day 4 of the test yesterday. The visitors had made 438 in their first innings. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Stalemate in Parliament continues over Manipur issue. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar meets floor leaders, seeks cooperation for smooth conduct of business. Government instructs banks to deal with loan repayments in a humanitarian manner. Interest rate on deposits under EPF scheme hikes to 8.15% for financial year 2022-23. Met Office warns of heavy rains in Kerala, coastal Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Konkan and Goa in next 4 days. Israeli Parliament passes bill to limit powers of judiciary amid mass protests. And in cricket, play on day 5 of second test match between India and West Indies delayed due to rain. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.